Welcome, everyone. Today we're talking about Pod and Review the Week. Jake, the week, I think, was quite cool, as the kids would say, or maybe sick. What were your thoughts about the week?
I'll be honest with you. It was. I'm thinking from now on. I think I want to pick a word for the week. I think I would pick unexpected. I was. I was at the end of the week thinking, wow, this was a really cool week of interviews. Even the film I loved, which we'll talk about. And so, yeah, I thought it was a really wonderful week, but it was unexpected. I just didn't expect. I felt like the week before was really good. So I feel like we're just hitting week after week. We get great guests, and sometimes the guests just blow me away with what they say. What they bring to the table. It's just so much fun. So yeah, it was unexpected.
Yes. And speaking of unexpected, let's talk about Mr. Moreno.
Mr. Moreno, yeah, I think a word for him for me would be hero, and I really mean that. This is a man who came to this country not speaking English. He went through the education. He went to JC, I think, for like 19 years until assistant principal told him, "Hey, why aren't you teaching?" And so he's inspirational because he went and he got his teaching. He got his degree, and then he became a Spanish teacher, and he became this, not only a teacher but became this musician. And he brought all that in the classroom over the years. And when I met him, it's been 25 years since I first met him. I just didn't realize the giftings. But you know what I think, Ruben? Because he was successful getting his degree and teaching, I think it encouraged him to move forward with his music. And I was blown away when he was answering your songs, like I couldn't even hear some of those songs that you were playing on your phone. I'm like, wow, how's he getting that? And then he was getting the song and the artist. And sometimes he would go back like, oh, the original artist would, I'm like,
So
what?
that's what I would do differently. I felt as I rewatched it,
Yeah,
I should have. So this is a new headset,
sure.
and so I should have played and tested the phone to. And we
Yeah.
talked about this, but I dropped the ball on that. But having said that, in a way, it worked out because he could, like you just indicated, he could catch it, even hearing just a few bars.
Yeah.
He knew each song that I played,
Right.
and he sang, and he finished the
He
lyrics.
sang. I know, that was
So
fun. Even that last song. I didn't know what song he was going to pick, and then he picked a pretty popular song right from the movie Coco. So
uh,
that was really cool.
I will say that what's really heartwarming is that on the Pod and Deliver group on Facebook, there was one student who mentioned, I remember this teacher singing to me in I think she said kindergarten,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And that was really cool that that's now captured in time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Do you
do
mind?
want,
Do
yeah,
you mind if I interrupt for a second? And I should have done this before. I apologize. Guess what I'm wearing? Dodger shirt.
right on.
You inspired me because of all the times you wear your Dodger shirt. I just wanted to
Yeah.
share that. Sorry, I was excited. I want them to win too. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You undercut Mr. Moreno, but hopefully he forgives
I
you.
know. I'm sorry, Mr. Moreno. I'm so excited about the Dodgers right now.
Uh,
But go ahead. I
some
apologize.
of the music that we were playing, by the way, was
Mm.
in order. I'll go in order. Allá en el Rancho Grande, Jorge Negrete. And I know there were different versions, but that's the version I played. Estos celos by Vicente Fernández. Del cielo cayó una rosa. Cuco Sanchez and La Llorona from the Coco film, but very cool. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Moreno. And that takes us to Ben Gonzalez or Ruben Gonzalez.
Ruben, yeah, I love the story about the band, and I didn't mention this on the video on an episode, but he was a student of mine who started a club while he was in high school. It was a community outreach club where we went and we fed the homeless nearby. Well, actually, that was in LA, but we also did some clothes drives. I remember once we did I think it might have been a year after he left, but the club continued after he even graduated. And we're always looking for ways to help the community. But anyway, that was Ruben's thing, and he started it back then. And to see him continue to grow he's not a boy anymore, he's a man. And he's this, he works for the All Stars after school program. He's a data coordinator, or I should say, he's the director of that program, or the different piece to it of the All Stars. But he has really just, I think he's just really happy with what he's doing. Some people aren't happy with their jobs, but it appears to me, and I think he would say it, that he really enjoys what he does and all the help he does for the young kids coming after school to get tutoring, to get food. We mentioned that, and to just have a place for them to go. Because some of these kids, they go home, their parents aren't there. And so this was a program, or this is a program that does that helps young people, before they get to go home, helps them with the homework, helps them with some cheerleading or sports.
What was
school.
The club that he started?
Well, we called it the Rubber Band Club, basically named after a club when I was in high school, but it was a different type of club, though. This is more of a community outreach club than the one when I went to high school with. But it was all about bringing people together, bringing the community together, doing outreach, outreach events to help people who are in need. And it was his thing. He went with it.
He's still doing that. I like that he was recruiting in the middle of our little discussion, and we have those links up there, and the first thing you see when you go on those links is they're hiring, and if you're on site, if you go on that link, if you follow the link, when you're on site, you get paid a little bit more than if you're virtual. So that's available for you, that resource, and really cool. I do want to mention also that he's been influenced by the book 12 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And yeah, that is a really good book. So
it's fun.
Worth checking out that discussion with Ruben Gonzalez, which leads us to your discussion with Vinny about Cyrus the Great.
Yeah, Vinny is an ancient history guy. I'm not. I'm more of a U.S. history person. I feel like that's my specialty, if you could call it a specialty. He's more ancient history, so I'm always learning from him. Although I knew who Cyrus the Great was, I just didn't know that how influential he was, Cyrus the Great, how the kingdoms he overcame, and how open he was for allowing people's religion to be practiced still in his kingdom, even after he conquered them. And then he's talked about in the Bible like 19 to 20 times, right? Regarding, and he was not even Jewish. So God chose this man who was not Jewish to come and lead his people out of Babylon, right? And I mean, he defeated the Babylonians without really doing much, just no, really not much of a fight. And he took over and he included these people. And the Jewish people, you would think they would be like, hey, what's going on? And I'm sure there was a little bit of that. But Yahweh said, hey, he's going to come. Cyrus is going to come, and he's going to lead you out. And he did. And we were talking in the episode about this it's called the Cyrus Cylinder, where it talks about the history of Cyrus. And they have that. So it was kind of cool that history backs up the Bible, and the Bible backs up history and the artifacts. So, here's another indication that, hey, you know what, the Word of God is, the Bible is still relevant, and it's still something that's being used today to find pieces of art or pieces of antiquity. So it was a fun time. We're still learning, but we're having fun with it, though. As you said, we bring in music. This week's song was Iron Maiden, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think for me, I want to separate Vinny the teacher from the lesson. I like the Iron Maiden. I like the Warriors come out to play. I like Vinny. But for me, I want to fight. And so even if Vinny agrees with you personally,
sure.
Okay, and we've talked about this offline.
Sure.
I want you to play the devil's advocate way harder, way over the top. Even if you agree with the Bible, like if I had somebody who agreed with the Bible, didn't agree with the Bible, I would take the counter, or vice versa, because I think at this stage of the game, for what's been going on politically and culturally, I think the students would really benefit from seeing two adults in a classroom clash and then shake hands and walk to lunch together. Students are not seeing that. And so for me, I would have pushed back way harder. But I've told you that
Yeah, but I
several
don't think
times.
this topic was for that.
So
Although
I'm going to give
there's
you an
going to be,
example.
yeah.
I know. I've heard you several times say that. But for me, I'll give you an example. I would think not only do I agree that the top 10 are more influential than Cyrus the Great, I think number 35 is more influential. Edison, who helped introduce electricity to the masses.
Cyrus the Great
Shakespeare,
saved God's chosen people, Ruben.
That I know, but I'm arguing that without. By the way, without number 7, Sailoon, if I'm pronouncing his name right, he's the inventor of paper. We wouldn't read Cyrus the Great today without him.
Without Cyrus, there would be no Jesus.
Without Shakespeare, yeah, but that's you understand my point. Is that even if you believe that,
I understand.
Even if you believe that, it's a lot of agreement. It's a lot of agreement, and I'm not sure.
I'm a lover.
Students got as much as they could have.
I hear you. No, that's fair. That's fair.
So.
Thank you. No, I'm going to put that. Yeah, I hear you. Under my consideration.
And just to underscore the point, number 27 is Karl Marx. I don't agree with Karl Marx. A lot of people who know me, if they watch this, who knows if they're watching this podcast,
be careful, I'm recording this.
Would know how much I don't agree with Karl Marx. Right. But I would argue he's had more of an impact. Doesn't mean I agree with him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's pushing back, and students would benefit on several counts on that point, both on the debate aspect, but on the idea of two people can disagree agreeably. I'm still going to push back that for you to talk about that and to do that in the podcast. Will you listen to me? Who knows? Let's go to another round.
I think you always have some good things to say. I like that, Ruben. Thanks. Okay. But maybe I should push back with you. Screw you, Ruben. I'm not going to listen to that. Is that like that? Is that what you want? That type of? All right. Let's talk about another round.
Actually, screw you is not what I want, but you interpreted it as that, which is the exact opposite.
It's opposite of what you wanted. I don't listen to you, right? Okay, I got you. All right, let's talk about another round.
Oh, by the way, I think this is related to something that we've talked about, though, is that, and something that people have said to us on this podcast is that, Ruben, you're so tough. You're so hard on Jake. You're so this, you're that. You and I have talked about how you're a really agreeable guy. You're a real personable guy, and I'm the jerk.
No, I didn't say you're a jerk. Come on now.
I didn't say you.
I used other words. No, I didn't say jerk.
I didn't say you said that. I'm saying that I think that about me sometimes, that I'm a little bit too hard, and I think within the realm of the discussion, though, I think it's just me trying to push back within the debate, not trying to be a jerk, but just trying to find.
Can I be honest with you? I mean, let's see if hopefully the audience will chime in, but I think it's good. It's a good balance we have here, meaning that we feed off each other, and I'm hoping I'm a better listener, so that's one thing. But I think we both are just growing and
No, I would say stop listening so much and start pushing back in the debate.
Okay.
But in the interviews, you need to listen more. Let's talk about the film.
You know what? You're a jerk. You are a jerk.
No. But you need to stop saying wow, and you need to start doing more of just sitting back and listening. You know what I mean?
Is this being recorded? Hello. All right. Yes, I got it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm taking all the notes that you're telling me. What else, Ruben?
Bring out the pen.
Can we get to another round yet? Because I'm going to have another round in a moment.
Go for it.
Start drinking because of you. Let's see here. This film was actually just came out like in last year, right? 2020. And so I just love this film. And as I'm reflecting back on the film, I think that it's so real, wasn't it? I mean, the whole idea where these guys, these 4 friends, it's cool to have colleagues where you go out. I mean, I know you have, Ruben, and I know I have over years where we just go out and have something to eat, go get something to drink, just hang out and get to know each other. And some of these people I know, and I've shared this on this podcast, that I really love these guys, right? Especially all of the guys and women at Elizabeth Learning Center. So there's that camaraderie in the film of these gentlemen, these 4 teachers who just really care about one another. They celebrate birthdays together and so forth. But this whole experiment regarding drinking, I think that's not the main point. I think the one point is that they're growing and they're learning about themselves through this experiment. and they really were good teachers, period. And I think Martin, the character Martin, the main actor of the four, he figured that out, I believe, at the end. And so I think for us as teachers, and I'm reflecting on it, I'm hoping that people don't figure that out at the end of their career, that they figured out at the beginning of the career. I'm very fortunate. I work with a lot of teachers, new teachers. Like right now I'm working with 3 new teachers this year. And that's been a lot of fun to work with them, and to even just share with them that, you know what, you don't have to reflect back on your career and say, man, I wish I would have done this. Right now you should start thinking about your career and how you want to make some changes and how you want to better yourself, and spend more time with your family. Don't at the end of your career think, oh, I spent too much time at work and I should spend more time with my family, because I think that would some of these characters would have said that. But yeah, it's a great film to reflect on your career, reflect on things you've done, and hopefully you won't get in despair. Because some of these people were in despair, like, wait a minute, what have I done with my life? So anyway, it was a good film, a lot of reflection, Ruben. Right? I mean, at least I did. I just really thought about it, and it was a great acting. Jeez, you guys got to watch this film. So good. What do you think, Rube?
It was a excellent film, as I mentioned in the review, and I also wanted to say that it. I guess it did make me reflect a little bit on the idea of not only this film but other films like it. And if you think about it, there aren't that many films about teachers' personal lives. Really, I mean, To Serve with Love, that it's a recent film that we reviewed. It did touch on his personal life. He was an engineer and he was looking for a job in engineering, but not that deeply, right? It was more about his relationship with the students mostly. And that's really how it is in most teacher films. But this is about the teachers' personal lives. And I guess early on, I learned about not bringing what you have in your personal life into the classroom. And it was a great lesson. And I learned it from a student. I learned I learned it when a student told me, you know what, we don't want to, we don't want you to bring what you have. He said it in a different way. He said, you know what, you seem a little bit down. I am a little bit down. We don't want to. We don't care. Just teach us. And that was harsh, and that was tough, but he was right.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to point out, why are you shaking your head?
No, I was thinking. I can't be honest with you. I was thinking I probably would have went home cried. Is that wimpy in me? And you're tougher than I am. I think
Well,
you learn from it. I would be like getting all crazy and
I'll,
emotional.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. It was hard to hear that,
Mhm.
but it was a wake up call for me because I knew he was right, and I always felt like after that I had a commitment to these students, and I can't bring that in. And I trained myself to do that, and now it's not even a problem. I don't think people can tell if I'm going through something usually, unless it's really extreme. But I don't think I've gone through anything extreme.
Oh,
Um, the There are a few movies and books that I thought I'd mention that are related, maybe.
okay.
Clean and Sober, starring Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mentioned Leaving Las Vegas, and I think the best thing that I've ever read or seen about this topic is The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. Um, there's nothing like it. You never forget it. And it's about a person who's trying to sort of put that up behind him, his drinking. I know this movie is a little different, but the themes are there. Watch the film, Another Round. One of the best teacher films, I guess, that we've definitely one of the best we've seen this season
For sure.
in this show.
For sure.
So,
I
any
want to
last
thank you.
thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks for being, just letting me have it tonight. It was good. It was really good to have an honest talk with you. But you know what? I've learned. No, I'm serious. I mean,
Once we stop recording, then
yeah,
you're gonna give it.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know that. But anyway, but at the same time, it we started off the podcast or the episode talking about the week, and I still feel the same way. It was just unexpected, and I learned a lot. And I think that's the whole point of us doing this, right? We just want to continue to learn And these guests of ours, boy, they bring it, and we learn every week. So I'm so grateful for them to be on too. And some of you people who don't even know you're going to be asked, get ready. But that being said, yeah, it was unexpected, but a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like. You could even leave a this there, but you better say why, or maybe not. We're very sensitive over here. All right, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.